morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Ryan Falb. Ryan was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins his shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here with a review of another neat new drone. This is the HS190 portable pocket drone. This is pretty neat, folks. You know, about 7 to 8 years ago, there was plenty of these out there. Plenty of portable pocket drones. What are these, folks? These are drones, little micro drones, that come with their own carrying case / charger / controller. Can do all three things in once. The idea was that you put this in your pocket, take it to school, and go fly it at school or wherever. You know, take it with you and fly it anywhere drone. That's what these were. And that's what this is. The Holy Stone HS190. Haven't seen these for a while, again, as mentioned, but I did enjoy them when they came out. Let's talk about this particular one. Let's take the little drone out of its carrying case / controller, and we'll talk about this controller a little bit later because it has some neat features. But this is the drone. It's a little folding drone, and you unfold it like so. Just move the arms outward until they snap into place. Third arm and fourth arm. And there it is. Okay. Now, this does come with prop guards, and I am going to install them for indoor flight, but I do recommend that you do not use these prop guards when flying outdoors because they will act like Christmas tree ornaments and hook your drone up in a tree if you accidentally land in one. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about this little drone. It's a very small, lightweight drone. It weighs only about 23 grams with the installed battery in there. That means also it does not have a camera. This on the front here is just a light on the front. So since this does not have a camera and it weighs only 23 grams, that means this drone does not require registration in nearly every country in the world. I'm sure there is a country out there that does require all drones to be registered. I don't know which one that is. But this particular drone in most countries does not require registration. The battery, I talked about that battery. It's a little internal 3.7 volt 220 milliamp hour battery. That'll give a flight time of up to about 7 minutes for this particular drone. The thing about this battery, though, is you cannot remove it. You can't swap it. Whoops, let me pick that up. You can't swap this battery between flights, folks. The idea is, you know, after you do a flight, you land and recharge it through its recharging port there and go for another flight. So again, that's a downside of these little micro drones of the past. They all had internal batteries, and this one does also. It's included with the others, so keep that in mind. It is also powered by 615 brushed motors. That means these are also going to fail eventually one day. But the idea of this particular drone, again, is it's a toy. Take to school, take it anywhere, fly it. Also to learn the basics of drone flying. You know, the sticks, throttle, yaw, pitch, and roll. These are all standard for all drones, so it's good to learn on one of these cheap toy drones how to fly a drone before you go and buy that $1,000 DJI drone. Okay, I highly recommend folks do that, folks. Okay, other things about the drone, it has multiple flight features. It has auto takeoff and auto landing. It has a flip feature where it'll flip 360 degrees forward and 360 degrees right and left. It has altitude hold, which will hold altitude automatically once in the air. It has headless mode so that you can spin it in any direction, and the orientation of the drone doesn't matter. Forward will always be in one direction, back will always be in the other, right and left will also always be in the other. I'll demonstrate that when we go down to my flight test facility. Again, I mentioned it can do flips, and finally it has high spin. It has spin capability where you press a button and it rotates rapidly around a point. So we'll also try that out too. Now let's talk about the controller. I mentioned the controller is the heart of this system. Okay, it's both a carrying case of the drone, it's also the controller of the drone, and it's also a charger. Okay, you do get a regular charger that you can use with a USB port, but it also has a built-in charger so that you can charge the drone using the power of the batteries inside this controller to charge that drone. In that case, these batteries are four AAA batteries installed in here, 2 here and 2 here. If you're going to be using this to recharge the drone, I highly recommend that you use either alkaline batteries or, better yet, rechargeable AAA batteries in here to charge that. Otherwise, you know, use super heavy-duty batteries from the dollar store. It's just going to kill those batteries quickly. So let's go over the controller on this. Again, it's a carrying case, and it has a charger cable right here for charging the drone. It's built in. I'm going to leave it right there because I don't want to try to put it back in place, but we'll leave it there. Let's talk about the buttons on it and controls on it. This is your throttle with the Mode 2 controller. This is yaw. This is pitch. This is roll. It does have different rates, three speeds of rates, and what rates are is the speed of the drum. You know, it has beginner, intermediate, and expert, and what that does is it changes the pitch angle of the drone to increase the pitch angle so that the drone will go faster and higher rate. It does have that auto spin capability that you activate by pressing this button here, and each one of these is nicely labeled with a symbol to let you know what it is, just letting you know that, folks. It has automatic landing button right there. This is your automatic takeoff button right there, according to the symbols. These are trim buttons. This is forward trim. This is back trim. This is left trim and right trim, so you can trim it up. It does have automatic, what's this? One key return capability. Okay, one key return is another thing we'll demonstrate down in the flight test facility when we go down. But all that does is it makes the drone fly the exact opposite direction it was pointed at takeoff. It is not a true return to home, so keep that in mind, folks. And finally, it does have headless mode, which you activate here by pressing that button here. Oh, I forgot to mention, it does have flip control. To activate the flip control, you push into the pitch roll stick first, and then move the stick right or left, forward or back, and the drone will do a flip. Let's go over what you get in the box. You get the instruction manual, very nice detailed instruction manual. You get a caution of LiPo batteries. Recommend reading that if you're not familiar with LiPo batteries. You do not want to keep this charged in or plugged into a charger overnight because you could start a fire. So keep that in mind. You get the drone. You get a normal charger for it. It's a USB charger. You need to use this USB charger with this particular drone. It lights up a little red light inside when you plug it into your power source. And your power source, you could either use the USB port on your computer or a wall charger under 2 amps to charge this particular drone with this charger. You get the controller and you get a screwdriver. And this screwdriver is for changing out the batteries of the controller to get in there. They're held in place by screws. The covers are held in place by screws. I think that's a requirement in some European countries to avoid kids from getting in there and swallowing batteries. Other things you get is the prop guards, like I mentioned. You get a full set of spare propellers here. You get a propeller wrench, and you get 4 spare screws. And I think those spare screws, in case you ever do want to change out the battery in here, you can get in there and replace it with a new battery by removing these 4 screws here when this battery finally reaches its end of its shelf life, which takes about 2 years, folks, for most people, for most LiPo batteries. So that is the HS190. Let's take it down into my flight test facility and see how it flies. So hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the indoor flight of the HS190 from Holystone. And welcome to the Quadcopter 101 indoor flight test facility / micro FPV race car facility. That's what I got set up over there on top of my hot tub. Okay, to turn this on, we just hit the on-off switch here, and I want to point the front. I believe that's the front, that white bright light on that. Point the front toward my test drive facility and put the drone on a flat level surface, then turn on the controller, and we have bind. So we should be good to go. So good for takeoff. We'll try that automatic takeoff first by pressing this button here. Maybe we need to start the motors first. That's gyro calibration. Well, that starts the motors, and then press takeoff. There we go. So you got to start the motors first. And we do have a forward drift, as we can see here. Let me bring it back. We're going to adjust that drift, and we got a slight right drift too. So we're going to counter that with backward trim and leftward trim until that stops movement. And that should be good there. Let's bring it back and test our trim. A little more left trim, a little more back trim. Okay, that's relatively good. So there we go. Let's get down. I'm going to get a little closer to it here. Bring it a little closer so you can see it. The altitude holds are working nicely, but let's do a flip. Pressing the flip button and right flip. Come down a little lower, bring it back closer. Forward flip. Back flip. Left flip. So the flips work fine on this. Okay, next thing, headless or spin mode. Let's bring it closer so you can see that spin mode. Okay, bring it back toward me here. Closer here, bringing it up to the camera and hitting spin. So there's its rapid spin mode. All it does is spin around like a top. Now you can do that manually, folks, with the yaw. See, there's slow speed yaw. Let's increase the rates to high speed to see if that changes it. So yeah, you can do it manually just by moving the stick left or right. So that's what that feature does, folks. So going back to beginner's rate, now the next thing I want to try is headless mode, if I can find it. There you are, that button there. Now what's headless mode do? That's always going to be forward, this is always going to be back, that's always going to be left, this is always going to be right, no matter which way the drone is pointed. Even if it's pointed toward us, I'm pushing forward. Oh, let's make sure I'm not lying here. Yeah, that's forward, back, right and left. And we can actually pirouette the drone as we're doing this. Okay, it's bringing it back toward me, spinning it around like a top while we're flying it. Okay, that's headless mode. And that makes it easy for beginner pilots to fly it. They don't have to worry about the orientation, but I'm not a beginner, so I'm going to turn that off. And let's go forward a bit, and we'll try the one key return. Now, all one key return does is point or come back the opposite direction it was pointed to take off. So right now, since it was pointed that direction, it should fly toward me. We'll find out. And I guess it thinks it was pointed in that direction. Let's try that there, and then one key return, and there it comes kind of back to me. But again, it is not a true return to home. If you're ever either to the right or left of your takeoff point, it actually could fly away from you. Okay, let's just see how it flies in maneuverability. I did the spin feature, so we don't need to demonstrate that again. Okay, that's low rate. Let's go to higher rate. Let's go to highest rate. Woo! This thing can move in high rate. So yeah, let's go back to beginner, or not beginner, second rate. High rate's a little bit too fast even for me, but second rate, oh yeah, that's perfect. Now this is controllable. Let's go around this stanchion. Come back toward me, and there we go. Yeah, this is actually a nice flyer, folks. It's flying very nicely. Let's do funnels. And it does funnels real well. These are funnels. How do you do funnels? Both sticks to the right. You can do it the opposite direction too. Both sticks to the left. And that's how you do funnels. Both sticks. You just move both sticks. So, oh no, nice little drone. Very flyable, very controllable. I'm surprised. Normally these little toy drones don't fly as well. This one does a nice job. Actually, this should fly outdoors well too. Well, I still got some power. Let's take it outdoors, folks. And I want to see how it flies outdoors. So let's land it, and we'll do that. Let's give it a test flight outdoors. So, okay, welcome to the outdoor flight of the HS190. Now we have a bit of a breeze here today, so I took off the prop guards because those prop guards can also act like a sail in the wind. You don't want to have them on again when you're outdoors. Okay, putting it on the ground, turning on the transmitter. It should be bound, starting motors. Is it out? Yeah, it's out. We're going to do manual takeoff. And going to high rate. See if it can fight this breeze. And it seems capable of it, yeah. Okay, the high rate's a little too fast even for me. Second rate. Can second rate fight the breeze? Yeah, it can. So let's go over here. And the sun's going to be polishing, or giving me some interference here, so I want to go over here so you can see it better. But yeah, it flies well outdoors. Let's go up higher. And future. There it is up there. I want to see if it builds up any wind drift. They call it wind drift, where the gyros struggle to fight the wind, but then it gets a false drift on it. But it doesn't seem to have that feature or have that problem. Okay, while we're outdoors, let's do some more flips. Flip it, flip it, flip it good. It's actually a nice outdoor flyer. I'll give it to that. It's trash day today, by the way, folks. That's why you see the trash is out here today. Goodness gracious. Let's keep it close here so you can see it. But yeah, this is a nice little Nice little drone for beginners and intermediates too. I'm having fun flying it, to tell you the truth. Still got plenty of time on it. Going up, up and away. Coming back down again. Nicely done. Holy Stone, I like it. And I like it don't have a camera. You get these goofy camera drones that have the most awful cameras, just take them off. Make it lightweight, make it a great flyer, and there you go. I like it. The Holy Stone, HS190. Let's get some thumbnails. Okay, fold it, or flip it. Flip it good. Flip it good. Flip it good. And away we go. Great little flyer. It really is. It's flying for a good long time. The HS190. So yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed since don't have a camera, but don't be disappointed. You know, this is mainly to learn to fly, and it is a good flyer. It really is. So it'll teach you the basics, what you need to know. Seems to be flying for a good long time here. Got to go to a higher rate. That wind's picking up even more, but it can fight it. Now that front light does come in handy for maintaining orientation on this little drone. Let's bring it closer here, because you're not seeing it from that far away. I know you're not. But let's go down in the street here, and I'm going to do a quick up and away. Yeah. Very maneuverable. Very maneuverable indeed. Coming around, going back to second rate. Enough of that high speed because the wind died down again, so we can come down here into lower rate, make it a little more controllable. Yeah, because that high rate is has a lot of oomph to it. So all in all, it's still flying well. That is giving it a good long flight time, that 220 milliamp per hour. I think I'm over 7 minutes by now. I think I'm around 9 minutes, I think. Can I do a running flip? Yeah, you can. Running flips. I like running flips. Running flip. So yeah, you will learn the controls, how to control a drone with this very well, if you're patient. You know, as with all things, flying a drone does require some practice. Actually, quite a bit of practice. Okay, you don't get that practice, you're going to be disappointed when you're, you know, if you go with the, ignore my advice, and go with that expensive $1,000 drone, don't blame me when it ends up in a tree or ends up flying away because you don't know how to control it. You fly it away. You will learn how to use this control with this little toy drone. You will. Boy, this is flying well. And long. I'm surprised how long it's flying. We got a little battery in it. No blinking yet. There's still no blinking. That battery's still good in there. So we got some more flight time. Well, maybe that's it. That's it there, folks. So that's the flight time with the HS190. Notice that the lights don't blink. There's no indication that you're getting low battery power. Maybe the red light's blinking. Oh, these lights are blinking. The red and blue ones on the bottom. So look for that. That'll be your warning that you are getting low battery. So that's the HS190 from Holy Stone. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101. Let me get it, hold it up for a thumbnail with a blue sky against it. Quadcopter 101, signing out. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.